Welcome to the 115th edition of the Director's Communique. We are now entering the final month with our current Director of Education. A month from now, he'll join us with his final message, and we'll also hear from the person waiting to fill his shoes. With his words for this last month of the 2020-2021 school year, here's Director of Education, Dom Sculia.
Thanks, Twyla. It's bittersweet getting ready to start the transition to retirement from Regina Catholic Schools. While part of me is very excited about the next step in my journey, I am reminded every day of the places and the people that I will miss here in Saskatchewan. Like you, this year has been challenging, often wondering what could possibly come next during such a difficult time for our world. When I think about our theme of know, love, serve, that first word has really seized my attention this year. We're collectively reminded to increase our knowledge of God. If that's not a call to action during a pandemic, I don't know what could be prompting myself to know that God is with us. Listening to our prayers and acting in our own way is both calming and inspiring. His presence is a calming force, but it is a cue to patiently wait for an end to the masking and the physical distancing. This past month was a full and important time for all Catholic schools in Saskatchewan. Catholic Education Week saw us celebrating nurturing hope. While here in Regina, we also honored our distinguished alumni and stepped up to the Moving in Faith Challenge. It was inspiring to watch each of us combine these efforts. The Living Rosaries classroom walks and school-wide virtual events were all incredible. This is how I come to know God better. June always brings a sense of finality in the education world, while simultaneously bringing the framework for a whole new school year. This year, I settle on the conclusion of the 2020-2021 year while praying for each of you as you begin the next school year with a new Director of Education. For those of you retiring, I wish you my sincere congratulations. For those of you moving to new positions, I pray that your transition will be successful. And for those of you continuing on, I pray for your continued health and safety. And all of you, I pray that next month brings us closer to a sense of normalcy. Thank all of you, and God bless. Twyla?
Thanks, Dom. A big month for May. Let's start with Catholic Education Week.
Hey Cargo, did you know that this is a special week for us Catholic students? That's right, this week is Catholic Education Week, and we also need to recognize all of the teachers and staff that help us guide us in faith. Isn't there a special theme for this week? Yes, this year's theme is Catholic Education Week is Nurturing Hope. But what does this really mean?
Thanks to a cute video from Courtney Horseman's class at St. Gregory's School, we know all about the theme for Catholic Education Week. And of course, there were so many activities. Nurturing Hope certainly brought about a lot of inspiration for celebrations and different things to do throughout the school division. St. Luke's School celebrated Catholic Education Week by writing prayers and sharing them with the school on a bulletin board and video presentation. On Friday, May 14th, the students played faith-based bingo and Kahoot, and they also got to enjoy a tasty treat. Keeping all the fun in Catholic Education Week over at St. Nicholas School, they ended the week with some snow cones and even had a very special guest, Father Chris, there to help serve the kids. Moving in Faith happened all week long. We've traveled nowhere for such a long time. We decided that since we couldn't gather together for Moving in Faith, we'd collect kilometers and collectively walk from the Holy Rosary Cathedral in Regina to the Vatican in Rome. That's more than 8,000 kilometers. Well, thanks to you, we made it. The St. Josephat School community truly got moving as part of Moving in Faith here at RCSD. Staff and students got into the spirit by walking during phys ed and religion classes. Families also joined in. They logged their distances in a school-wide jot form. Great idea. St. Josephat School moved enough to add a total of 1,576 kilometers. Huge thank you to Mrs. Jenna Bracken, who led many of the walks herself, and she logged at least 50 of those kilometers. So many of our staff also jumped on board with this crazy little plan, and we want to thank everybody who took the time to walk, run, jog, roll, bike, wheel, stroller, and just move during Catholic Education Week. Thanks to your efforts, we made it to the Vatican and back, then there again, and we nearly made it all the way back home again, all adding up to 28,685.93 kilometers. That's more than 20,000 over our goal. We're amazed and we're humbled by your efforts and that of our families, communities, and Catholic connections. Our faith really can take us a long way. We pray Moving in Faith 2022 will be back to an in-person event at the Canada Games Athletic Complex, and we hope to see you there. Also during Catholic Education Week, we honored our latest 3 distinguished alumni.
Nick's story is a great story, and it's not just a great RCSD story, it's a great Canadian story. And leaving Yugoslavia, war-torn country, coming to Canada as a refugee, his family landing in Canada and landing in Regina specifically, it's a fantastic story. And on top of that, the opportunities that he was able to take advantage of while he was here, it really is what our country is all about, and how it connects to us and Regina Catholic School Division.
Yeah, like he started playing in a high school right at the Grady, and then he started playing for the provincial team first, and I think after a year or two, he went for the trials to the Canadian team youth, and I mean, they got him under their wing after that, and they kept telling me how good he is. I'm not much into sports. Like so many times I heard how good he is, and I'm looking at him, and I'm always looking from a critical. I'm a father. I can always give a good critic, positive one.
I think Chris deserves this more than probably just about anybody I know. He is a teacher through and through. He gives 110% to his kids, whether it's in the classroom or on a football field or in a Best Buddies Blues band. He just is 110% heart.
We've known Chris since about 2007, and he's been like a brother to me, and like a father figure to Jordan.
Well, I think he's a good friend, and he's kind of a nice person. Best Buddies is an international program from the Borders High School.
We were excited to have Chris on our team because we knew that he was a true champion of inclusion. It was fair to say that that was one of his values that shines through, and it's been obvious in his work. He makes everyone feel welcome in all the programs that he brings together, and he enjoys fun, and that's what, you know, Special Big Sport can be about a lot, especially in the school setting, bringing people together and having fun.
Elementary school, she just nothing but great report cards, and socially she was well liked.
We were one of the first altar girls for St. Martin's School. Yeah, well, Jennifer is a little bit of a front runner with a lot of things, but even back then we were trying to break down barriers for women.
But I first heard of Jennifer. We were visiting Chief Justice Ed Beta, and he mentioned one of his duties as Chief Justice was to chair the Rhodes Scholarship Selection Committee. And he talked about this most outstanding candidate for the Rhodes Scholarship that he had come across, and how easy it was that particular year for the selection committee to make it. And it turned out that that person was Jennifer Welch.
Congratulations once more to Nick, Chris, and Jennifer.
Good morning, Jaguars!
It was a relief for the staff at St. Joan of Arc School to have students return from Level 4 remote learning. The staff had a little bit of fun to remind the community how much they care, love their students, and missed having everyone together. Some hide and seek, some unexpected hair growth for the vice principal, and a lot of fun for the staff while the students were away. But you know what? They're all so much happier now that face-to-face learning has returned. A huge thank you to United Way Regina and Wheaton Chevrolet for the exciting classroom library launch at St. Michael Community School. We know how important literacy programs are under typical circumstances, so that makes this extra special. From book tasting to the dual language library, Bookstagram, you know what, this was a labor of love and it holds so many pages of success stories. Thank you so much for making this happen. Over at Miller, Lydell Lang's art class created some Attitude of Gratitude cards. Lydell made copies of some of the cards. Miller's staff all received one, and the rest were delivered to vaccination sites. This even caught the attention of Premier Scott Moe, who sent back a note of thanks along with a chant, "Go Miller Marauders!" Sacred Heart student Monica is an artist making it big already. Her Buffalo banner was chosen as one of 15 from 150 entries to be enlarged and hung on Dewdney Avenue, or Buffalo Avenue, this summer for June and July. Monica, we cannot wait to see that. Did you know that 15 of our schools took part in the Terry Fox Run this past fall? 3 of those schools ranked in the top 50 fundraising schools in Canada. Congrats to Miller Comprehensive Catholic High School, St. Dominic's School, and Ecole St. Mary. They helped lead the way for our division to raise over $11,000 for cancer research. Take that, cancer. O'Neill office manager Cindy Howitt was hard at work one day when her phone started to, as the kids say, blow up. Her husband was at home and started to hear some voices outside, so he texted her a play-by-play complete with pictures. He said, "There's a group of kids making chalk drawings on our driveway. I could hear all the voices and wonder what was going on. Cool, I wonder why they picked our driveway as their canvas. They're doing the whole driveway. St. Teresa kids, maybe? Hey, they're doing the front sidewalk now too. How nice of them." You know what, it turns out, yes, it was students from St. Teresa School. Jennifer Norminton's grade 1 students cheered up this family and spread some joy and good news, and it was so appreciated. Congrats to St. Luke teacher Samantha Staum Anthony and her husband Kurt Anthony. They were awarded the Coaching Dedication Award by the Saskatchewan Soccer Association for all their hard work and dedication coaching Special Olympics soccer athletes. It's great to see that volunteer dedication recognized. Also at St. Joan of Arc School, one of Mr. Redler's classes got to join the CBC and speak with a doctor with all their questions related to the COVID-19 pandemic. They learned a lot, and they had the opportunity to join with a whole lot of other schools throughout the province. Finally, some trouble brewing between some familiar faces at St. Nicholas and St. Angela. No, not Monique and James Wall, though they did just celebrate their 23rd wedding anniversary. Rather, it was the St. Nicholas night stirring up trouble.
Hey!
Some light-hearted sabotage from the night. Luckily, St. Angela's Gus the Griffin was available to muscle the night back to St. Nicholas. All is well, and we understand literacy levels are climbing at both schools. No giveaway for us last month because instead we used Moving in Faith as a great excuse to pop out to a few schools and deliver some goodies. And that was a lot of fun. This month, instead of a giveaway, I want to remind you about a big fundraiser we have going on for the United Way Regina. We know how much they impact our schools and our students, and you know what? The United Way needs our support. So a reminder about Caps for Kids. We have 4 different hats available. With a modified No Love Serve logo, we want to spread this KLS around the division to support literacy programs, summer camps, and even learning online summer school tuition. All proceeds go to the United Way Regina, and every hat helps reduce the risk of heat stroke, heat exhaustion, and of course sunburn, particularly for the follically challenged. We would love for you to order them right off the website at www.rcsd.ca, but let's make it a little bit more fun as well. What you can do right now is nominate a staff member bestie of yours with an email to events@rcsd.ca, and you can win a hat for you and your work bestie. We've got 2 pairs of hats to give away. We're going to make that draw coming up on June 7th at noon. Hey, coming up in June, Monday, June 7th is our monthly 5 o'clock public board meeting. June 8th is the Day of Education for Truth and Reconciliation. Friday, June 11th is a TPD day, which means elementary students have the day off. Sunday, June 20th, that's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all our fathers out there. And the 21st of June, that's National Indigenous Peoples Day. Thursday, June 24th is the last day of classes for high school students. Enjoy your summer. Archbishop Donald Bolin will celebrate a graduation mass for all 5 of our schools with graduates this year: Riffle, O'Neill, St. Luke, Miller, and Laboldus. That's coming up on the 25th of June. Thank you so much, Archbishop Don. Graduation ceremonies follow for each of the schools, as well as cap and tassel moments, and we pray that these events all go smoothly and really celebrate our grade 12 grads. Sunday, June 27th is Canadian Multiculturalism Day, and elementary students celebrate a completed school year on Monday, June 28th. To all my 10-month colleagues, the 2020-2021 school year, an unforgettable year for so many reasons, wraps up with a final day of work on Tuesday, June 29th. May you each have a restful and rejuvenating summer break. And to my fellow 12-monthers, I'll see you at CEC. June 29th is also the feast day of St. Peter and St. Paul. From His Holiness, Pope Francis, let us use everything we can, especially the powerful instrument of the media, to build and strengthen the common good. Let's use the media for peace. God saves us with love, not with force, offering Himself, not imposing Himself. The coronavirus has caused much death and suffering, affecting the lives of all, especially those of the most vulnerable. I ask you not to forget those who are most vulnerable. Everything we would like others to do for us, let us do for them instead. Do we want to be heard? Let us first listen. Do we need encouragement? Let us give encouragement. Do we want someone to care for us? Let us care for those who are alone and abandoned. Living our vocation to be protectors of God's handiwork is essential to a life of virtue. It is not an optional or secondary aspect of our Christian experience. And while we're in the Twitterverse, I want to share with you my favorite tweet of the entire year from one of our Catholic Connections partners, Trinity Manor. This came during Moving in Faith Week. Friends, don't let friends walk to the Vatican alone. You know what? It's true. Thank you for walking alongside us, Trinity Manor. And finally, kind people who deserve a hello. Eric Thelland, Jenna Bracken, Julie Perdue, Jennifer Norminton, Arkin Koff, Lydell Lang, Lisa Donnelly, Ann Lutz, and Cheryl Exner. Thanks for being awesome just by being you, and hello. Thanks for hitting play once again on the Director's Communique. Until next month, I'm Twyla West.